Well, hello, Mike. Again, actually, tried to make this once, but technical difficulties. Now, Mike, you had to know, or maybe you didn't, that I was gonna come here and go. The countries mentioned in routers are countries that are, most of them are set back 2,500 years. If you spit on the ground, you have your tongue removed. If you say something they don't like, they cut out your tongue. If you steal, they cut off a hand or a few fingers. A woman can't look out of the burqa at another man, so she keeps her head down and she walks behind her husband. She will be it's adultery, and then they stone her to death. Or if they're not married and the man and woman are caught kissing before the marriage, it's considered adultery and they both get stoned to death. This is not anything atheist or religion. They just don't like anything. Sometimes I wonder, do they know what an atheist is? Now, America. There are some atheists. I know a few. But they don't rant and they don't rave like the ones on the internet. And the internet, of course, like the Amazing Atheist, he is somebody that is, he's a public figure anymore, So he needs to really build that up. Coughlin does, many do. And, they're all very nice people. But that is an act. It's an act. They really are atheists. But the way they carry on, most people don't like it. I don't like it. I'm married to an atheist. If he acted that way, I'd throw him out the door. I have been called names. I have been called a lot of things, and you know what? I've never ever preached my beliefs to anybody. It's that I will say things like I'm doing now and say, "No, wait a minute." The Christians are persecuted. It depends on the Christian and their belief system. And some religions could care less, like Jehovah's Witnesses could care less, and Seventh-day Adventists could care less. You are who you are. They leave it be. Just because they come knocking on your door doesn't mean that they're trying to change you. It's a simple case of being polite and human polite and saying, you know what, thank you, but I've got my own beliefs. And you shut the door. Sometimes I have seen such bad behavior out of an atheist that it is just plain obscene. I know a specific atheist on YouTube that goes to town meetings if he finds out a Christmas party has taken place at a school. It's true. And it is so, to me, obsessive and ridiculous. It's like, can't you just let a kid have a childhood? And I've heard them all, and I find them fascinating, but I mean it. The peoples, the countries that routers mentioned are all that way. They're not going to let anybody be that way. It's a warring position over in the Middle East and in parts of Europe, and it's just not a place you hardly can say a word. Remember, the United States has freedom of speech, somewhat. Because remember, there's what we call the blackout in posting the things in the newspaper. And if they don't want or told that they are not to report something, there's many reasons for it. and sometimes there's not. So, I mean, I've said some very opinionated things on iReporter on CNN, and I don't get my badge. But I've got 4 badges. And it's hard. It's just really hard, and having your own opinion is hard. But I do not see the atheist being, or ever being, in America really cared about. It's like whatever. They make such a big deal over a menorah or a Christian thing being at the Capitol. It was just ridiculous. And they have their own sign. If you're going to be an atheist, atheists don't have signs. And a real atheist will say that. They don't have a sign that says an atheist. If they want a symbol, then that makes them have a belief system. Atheists do not believe in anything. So they shouldn't be bothered. They're good people. They go to work. They take care of families. They have barbecues. They are just people. It's just crazy. It's crazy behavior. And now that you've heard me out, it's your turn. I'm going to hit it. I know it. I love you, though.